Good morning, fellow tacklers. Karibuni sana kwa Diaspora edition. We are ready to start. We apologize for the long delay and missing last week, but tuko hapa. We have serious matter to discuss today, but as usual, before we start, let's have a word of prayer and then we'll continue. Let's pray. Father, we thank you for yet another opportunity as Kenyans, as we come together to discuss matters or issues affecting our country. May you guide our discussion. May we learn from each other. And above all, those who are watching and listening to learn from what we're going to speak today. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome. It's been a while, but we are here. I would start by saying the month of April has been rough for our country. I don't know if you guys have the same opinion like me. It kind of started well, but somewhere in between, what do they say? You take a sharp left or a sharp right? And then just things went haywire. We lost a very distinguished military general. And then here comes the rain. And the rains has caused quite a lot of disaster in the country. My biggest concern, I don't know what you guys' opinion are, is how are we, or when I say we as a country, are we responding to this issue of rain and the accompanying flooding and damages and everything else? Are we responding to it correctly? Is there something we are not doing right? Do people understand their responsibilities, or what are we missing? I would just like to start from there first. And first of all, before even we start on that, just to pass our sincere condolences for the people who have lost their lives so far. According to the government tally, there are about 179 people who have died, about another 90 missing, not known where they are, whether they are alive or dead. We don't know. We are praying for those who are missing. They may be found safe and alive. And kwa wale wamepoteza maisha yao, pole sana. We hope this will be resolved, at least mitigated soon, so that we stop losing life and property damages as we have. Mr. Let me start with you. What do you think? Do we have an effective disaster management plan, or we don't?
Thank you, Arama. That is actually a very good question. But I think we do have a plan. Mm-hmm. I think Kenya is a one-stop shop. We have everything, yet we have nothing. Mm-hmm. I think that for me is the implementation part of it. There is a national disaster and management policy. Mm-hmm. That actually even provides how people should respond to emergencies, what they should do. Mm-hmm. I think so, which means we are aware. It's called National Policy for Disaster Management. Mm-hmm. This policy provides guidelines on how we should, as Kenyans, and who even gives definitions, And let me read for you one definition. The definitions are a hazard, a natural hazard, a geological hazard, a technological hazard. Mm-hmm. They have identified those: disaster risk, disaster risk management, disaster risk reduction, disaster risk assessment, climate change, adaptation of climate change to climate change, vulnerability, and so on. So this was designed by Dr. Naomi Shaban, Minister for State for Special Programs. Mm-hmm. So, in other words, we do have a plan. Okay. the execution of the plan, implementation and execution is the problem. We have the wrong people in the with the right tools. Wrong people with the right tools. Therefore, they don't know how to use the tools in order to save lives, because it doesn't matter. It's not theirs. Theirs, they are protected. They live in posh areas that has been is close to quick and accessible for rescue and etc. So I think for me, those are some of the challenges that we have. But in terms of us having good policies in place, we do have policies. There's no shadow of doubt that we don't have that we have policies or not. So to answer your question, yes, we do. I think maybe the government and the president, who talks a lot, a very eloquent president that I've admired for long. I think we should put a little bit of concern,
yes,
and urgency to the loss of life. One role of the government is security and the well-being of its citizens.
Yes.
So if we are having a lot of floods, less response from the government, then that means the government has failed. If we are having and security and health goes hand in hand. If we are having a disaster, there is no response, there is no healthcare, medical attention or response, then we are having a disaster in the whole nation, and that should be taken. One life lost is too much to be lost. We appreciate and understand the fact that we will all die, but again, deliberate things that can be mitigated. I think if we don't mitigate them, that life lost is too much, and that shouldn't happen.
All right, Doro, what says you?
I'm assuming we are live. Sorry, I was a little mute for a minute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are live.
Okay, how are you guys doing?
We are doing okay. How about you?
I'm fine. You can bring me up to speed. I wasn't hearing.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I was mute and volume up. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just talking about the current events.
Chairman, I'm so heartbroken that Doro decided to go on mute when I was speaking. I told you, nimewachu, and you didn't really pay much attention.
Oh boy.
Sorry, I was discussing something with Baba Toto, so
okay.
So I had to be dumb and is it deaf and dumb? Both for a minute. So I did hear your last part of the contribution, Mise. But I'd like for Arama to bring me up to speed so I can contribute.
Yeah. So we're just talking about the ongoing issue in the country right now for the last almost 2 weeks now, 2.5 weeks, I think. The non-stop rain and the aftermath that has been come with the rains. We have seen so far the government statistics that were released this morning is saying about 179 people have passed that have been reported dead. They're saying the number of missing people is about 90. Whether they're dead or alive, we don't know. The question is, but if you look overall, and you have seen even here when an issue happens, how various levels of government respond, and their level of response based on the issues that have happened. To me, even I think, for example, when we have heavy rains, even in my area, just the fact that the water goes over a bridge, immediately the police are dispatched to block off that area or issue warnings, make sure that if it's possible, they will allow you to pass. If it's not possible, then they will stop everybody from going through over the bridge, just to avoid, loss of lives. But if you compare that with Kenya right now, the way people are responding and the number of people who have passed away, and some of them, I would say, like Mr. say, unnecessarily, because you see somebody trying to drive across what used to be a road, but they don't know whether the road is there or not. And they get somewhere in the middle, the water is too much, overwhelmed.
Or maybe they don't want that exposure out there because it will look bad for either the government or for the county. I don't even know which government to blame, the county government or the
National.
other government, the national government. Yeah, that's the word I was looking at.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sad regardless, because it looks like our country was not planned. It looks like Nairobi was just drawn on a piece of paper and buildings were just erected with no plan, especially when it comes to drainage and how will we say, and just sites like, okay, buildings can be up to here you can't build because there's a river passing by, or it's a riverway, which I don't even know my words very well. It just looks like the county was not planned. And my question number one is, in the last few, probably 10 days that these floods have been affecting the country, my big question is, where is the governor? Does the governor live in Nairobi? Does he really know what's going on? And another thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I've been concentrating more on the damage and trying to figure out what kind of help we could send back home through different groups.
Yes.
And so I've not really concentrated to know what the government has done, because to me, they are pretty absent. I kind of feel like, in passing, I did either watch the vice president or the president talk about fertilizer in a function when
Labor Day.
people were, not Labor Day, not yesterday,
Oh,
not
okay.
yesterday,
Okay.
just a few days ago. So if we spoke about it yesterday, wow, that's even a more wow for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I just kind of overheard, and I'm like, are these people crazy? Why are we talking about fertilizer when people are homeless? Mothers are sleeping on top of the roof of a floating house. So that and a mother has to sleep there with their kid, not knowing that that water can even go over them and kill them. People need blankets. People don't have mattresses because they've been soaked. I feel like the government's first response was to either just build some kind of shelter and take all these mothers and children, men watajipanga hapo nje, take these mothers and children, put them in there with dry mattresses and blankets, and make sure they're in a safe space.
Yeah.
And before we could even go back and talk about the shady fertilizer they've been trying to give everybody. But that's not our priority right now. I have assisted a couple groups, and right now I even had to reach out to Eric Omondi because I didn't see anything happening, because I'm seeing him doing more than both governments. I'm sorry, I'm seeing him doing a little more than both governments, and probably he's not even very well equipped. He doesn't have the funds, but he's using kidogo kidogo that he's getting to help people. So we had to reach out to him and ask him, hey, where can we send a little contribution so you can buy blankets? We have a few mothers, because I'm in some women groups.
Yeah.
And then also there's a friend of mine in Germany who also was doing a blanket drive. I also contributed there. So we could just go help these people. So what is going on with the government? Just this morning, yesterday morning, a friend of ours who has a wife who's on dialysis, I think Misa knows the case, was taking the wife to dialysis. Wakafika karibu na hospitali when they're just supposed to cross over wafike hosi. They couldn't go through because something broke. I don't have the right terminology. I don't know whether it's a dam or anything or something that broke. Maji ilikuwa imejaa. If they had gone through, they would have sunk. Whatever. So we had to tell him, hey, reroute yourself, go park somewhere, kunywa chai. Then after an hour, he went back, the water had settled down, then he could go over, afikishe bibi yake dialysis. Kufika kwa dialysis, the dialysis clinic was flooded. Now people there were with makarayas, they're trying to chota maji and spilling it outside. So it's a very, very sad situation. They're supposed to be people who are called urban and region planners. Is it that we don't have those to plan Nairobi, that is a city that's supposed to be high up there, that's being looked at by other African countries? What the heck is going on? What the heck is going on, Sielewi? And if maybe something is being done by the government that I'm not seeing, because honestly, right now, I've not really dug them to see, because I'm just disappointed at the no response. I think they responded quicker to, and I'm not saying this is in a bad way. It was sad for us to lose Kiptum. But I think the government response was quicker than these million people that were, thousands of people that are displaced right now. The Kiptum funeral was responded to very quick. A house was built in 6 days. Can you imagine if the president just gives a directive right now, build a warehouse style kind of shelter and put all these people in there? Paka tujipange, the way we've been accommodating refugees for all these years. Paka wamekuja wamegeuza nchi yetu imekuwa yao ina. So what the heck is going I have issues with all this.
And to me, really Doro and Mr. Alfred Karibu, one of the things that really amazes me, or rather disappointing at the same time and very annoying, is it's as if everybody is frozen there waiting for the president to say something. For example, until the president, when the Mai Mahiu issue happened, where about 47 people or 48, I think 48 or 49 people were swept by the floods when Kijabe Dam broke and the tunnel, and carried people with their houses and their cars and their cows and everything else. And then he tells Kuria to go and establish a mobile Huduma center to help people to obtain new IDs and all that, any documents that they are missing that were taken over. And I'm sitting here, I'm asking, do you have to wait for the president to tell you what you're supposed to do in your ministry or in your department? Or are you the one who's supposed to go and tell the president, here is what we would like to do, and then you go ahead and do it?
How many times have I said on this platform that the president needs to fire his cabinet?
Many times.
And hire some laymen like us who can just do some work using common sense to cover him, because these people are not covering, I'm sorry, I'm going to use American English, they're not covering the president's ass. You have a cabinet so they can cover you, and they're not.
The only problem the only problem I have with what Doro is saying is that even those of us who have been hired, we have let down the people of Kenya. We quickly see the problem, Doro. Right now, it's either you join them or you drown. And that for me, that's what I'm seeing, Doro. Yes, we do have people. You think about it, people like all these mnaitanga slay queen,
Murkomen.
Watu wote hawa akina Alfred Mutua, hao watu wamesoma na wameishi nje. Right?
Wamezuba wanangojea bosi wao waongee wakwende huko.
What have they done? The only people in history of the Republic of Kenya who did their work with integrity and there was tangible results that today we enjoy is the Ministry of when Michuki was the Ministry of Transport, and then when there was Bogisio, I think it was Samuel Bogisio, together with Dr. Bitangi and Demo. Today, Kenya enjoys affordable internet and infrastructure because of those guys who are technocrats, and they were even though they were not even rewarded, like someone like Bitangi and Demo was not rewarded, was just let go. But today we are enjoying his brains that he put into the transformation on technology, or Ministry of Information and Technology. So we have people who enjoy the world, you know, the goodwill of the president, but they are not doing what they are supposed to do. And the reason why
it's very upsetting. Finally, me and you are agreeing, Misa. Is there a problem?
No, there's no problem. No, what I'm saying is, that's why when we started, I said, yes, we also contribute as citizens of the Republic of Kenya. We are also party to the challenges and difficulties that we have as a country. Because why? At the end of every 5 years, we will recycle the same people back to legislative assemblies. Because why? Because why? They tell us what we want to hear. And those who want to tell us the truth, we don't give them the opportunity to serve us. When will we reform? Our country is draining. I'm telling you right now, the culture that is in Kenya is that everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to showcase how much money they have, how good, how big they can live,
how quickly they became rich.
Yes.
May I interrupt you, Miss? Before Alfred speaks?
And the president is supporting that, because we are seeing him and his entourage living the same huge life, and they're not cutting down. That's why I liked Magufuli. He went to the people. The president is not going to the people and resolving problems on site. The president is going to the people and telling them and giving them the sweet words and the eloquence, the things that people want to hear. And this is all bullshit. We need to stop this. We need to hold them accountable. That's why the Constitution says the power is vested in the people. We have failed to exercise our powers.
May I speak real quick before Alfred speaks?
Yes, go ahead.
Asante. To respond to what Misa is saying, actually President wacha kule chuma ngumu hapa kwa sababu he chose that cabinet. We didn't have any say when it came to the comes to the cabinet. He chose people who have let him down, and I mean all of them. That, like, there's nobody. Hakuna hata moja mwenye naweza enda huko nifanye piki ponkini chokore niseme this one amejaribu. Nobody. Mtu wa roads, our slay queen.
Yes.
Barabara ndio hizo zinaanguka. Yani barabara inaanguka kama crack, as in unavunja crackers.
Yeah.
Where is he? What does he know? And then just no one in the wamemwacha uchi kabisa. And I'm telling you, I'm crossing my fingers I get a minute with President Ruto sometime this summer to just sit down face to face. Me, I'll tell him, you have a cabinet that has left you naked and they're enjoying exposing you out there. None of them is here for your good. Hiyo nitamwambia tu wazi without any better language. But these are the people, these are the minions that we keep on picking. I hope the ones that we have a choice to pick to take to parliament, I hope Wakenya wachanuke, because it is sad. It's just hakuna actually wote, hata huyu governor kwanza ndiye amenidisappoint. Governor ni kama aishi Nairobi.
Yep.
Do you know how Mathare was affected?
Yep. Mlolongo. Man, some of those places are...
My sister lives in Syokimau. Man, one day she sent me videos just recording live of her trying to just get home, and it was impossible. Totally impossible.
Yeah.
Na hakuna sijasikia kama shelter imejengwa au watu hatuwezi sisi kama raia kuwasaidia. Yes, I can raise $200,000-$400,000 to zinunuliwe blanketi. Yes, nimepatia watu blanketi, but these people I'm giving blankets hawana chakula,
hawana mahali ya kukaa,
hawana mattress. So maybe tunaweza balance, tununue mattress na blanketi. Hawana mahali pa kukaa. You know, hata hiyo shelter ingekuwa tuambie President, wewe jenga shelter sisi to provide mablanketi kama diasporans, it would be much better.
And why should we do that? I feel like we shouldn't do that in the first place. I was reading this policy document. Alfred, you're coming in. Kwanza hii serikali imetoka kwenye imetusumbua. Lakini ni sawa.
Alfred, leo ameruka serikali yao. Imekuwa yako. I like this.
I was telling you that I'm looking at the policy document.
Yes.
This one here, it shows the occurrences, disaster occurrences in Kenya since 1974 to 2009. And it has a highlight articulate as shown how many 2009, 34 dead. Why? Fato Road accident, Nairobi Nakuru Road, Wote, Machakos, Nairobi Road, Isiolo, Meru Highway. You know, so it has listed everything up to 1974. Now, there is something that I read here. It was saying that the disaster responses reviews have indicated that the responses cost the government and other stakeholders more than would otherwise be the case if sufficient efforts had been put in place for effective disaster management, as shown from the cost of responding to drought in the year 1999 to 2001. You know, this drought estimated to have cost the government and other stakeholders 21.76 billion shillings. So now, if we learned from what happened, where is the mitigation? Where is the preparedness? Where is the response? Right? For the next, we have statistics from 1974 and what happened, how much it cost us. Then where is the response? Where's mitigation? Where's preparedness?
Bwana Alfred.
While we're waiting for Alfred, you can stop me once you get back on. While we're waiting for Alfred,
yes,
kuna hii kitu mumeongea that man, did I just lose my thought?
That's okay.
I think I just lost it, but it's okay. Alfred, you go ahead and talk.
Alfred.
Hi, Barry. I think you've mentioned every bit and every piece of what is happening in Kenya. And it is, I think Doro is as confused as I am, because I remember I once told one fellow here, hii serikali ukitetea unapoteza mpaka akili yako. Lakini sasa ni kama amerudi. He's back on his senses. He's actually blaming me. Mtu mwenye nimekuwa nikijaribu kumsaidia. Anaanza kunirudia. Kujaribu
ongea mzuri Bob Tanui serikali iko kwa
I saw a tweet by I saw a tweet by Dennis Itumbi.
Yes.
Last night saying that those who want to impeach the Linturi are just useless people who are just politicking, nothing else. The minister is not going anywhere. And it is unfortunate that Doro is trying to think that some super people will be given some position to help Kenyans. It's unfortunate. If those who are still there are actually saying that there is nothing, and I will tell you for free, Arama, the people who are affected by the first fertilizer were people from the Rift Valley, but none of the MP from those areas signed that petition to impeach the CS. So you can imagine. The people we have. You can imagine the leaders that we ought to think that the president chose to lead and guide him through. I thought ministers are there to not only support the president during his tenure, but also to advise the president that this is what we are meant to be doing. Under my ministry, this is what we are putting across. And it is unfortunate that actually the president is the one giving orders to the ministers to do what they are meant. So the ministers are not actually meant to be office. President tusiangeambia vijana ya mkono basi leo Alfred na timu yako mwendeni Nakuru, mwenda mufanye hiyo hao wengine kimbieni huko penye wameafektiwa na nini, because if you are a minister and you are not putting an effort to show that you're actually having some thoughts on how we are improving the lives of Kenyans, or actually how we are trying to reach out to those affected people. You wait for orders from above, as they always say. It is unfortunate. Secondly, is there is someone whom Wakili forgot, Matiang'i. I know we said he was a bad person, but apart from Michuki, Matiang'i, and Pogisho, and Bitange during his time when he was the Minister for Information, those are the people we would remember in this country. And the likes of Kinatom Boya during the times of our parents when they did the wing to fly thing. But the current ones, my friend, the airlift program. But the current fellows that we have here, it is all about how much is going to my pocket, how much is going to Mukubwa, how much is, they don't think about what they will be doing next. They don't think about what will Mwananchi be getting out of this. They don't think about what will happen tomorrow. Even if you go now and ask, hii pesa ya floods imefika wapi, utaambiwa ilireleasiwa ikakuja ministry na haijafika ground. And that is not something that
hiyo kabisa ninajua.
And it is nothing that it is rocket science. It is known that we have never been able to prepare for any emergencies. But once an emergency is there, actually the ministries are mandated to remove or use the money that they have for that emergency that is happening. But it is unfortunate that the money would be used and misused. And it won't be reaching to those who deserve. To date, my friend, Chairman, to date, kuna watu waliumia post-election violence, but mpaka leo hawajawahi compensatiwa. Why? Pesa iriliziwa na ikapotea.
And it's okay.
And I will tell you for free. Barack Obama once said, kama wewe una donate pesa yenye inashinda yenye unalipwa, iko shida mahali. But unfortunately, tutakuja kupigia makofi hawa watu wakikuja kutoa 3 million, 4 million, 5 million kwa Harambee. Na kazi kwa ground hajafanyika, lakini tunachangia kanisa ijengwe kanisa moja na 30 million. Na tunapiga makofi tunasema hii, na hujajiuliza huyu mtu ametoa wapi pesa. Na kazi kwa ground ni mbaya. Na tunasema huyu mtu chief guest yetu ametuletea pesa, amekuja na helicopter, hujui nini. So at some point in time as Kenyans, we need to sit down, have a meeting sisi wenyewe. Tuseme hili tunapenda. Na sisi ni vitu zingine. Huko kwetu saa hii tuko na makelele ya wajumbe nini, sijui nani anataka kukua mkubwa ya wajumbe, sijui nani, mwingine anaambia kaa nyuma yangu, mwingine anasema mimi ni mwanaume sikai nyuma ya mwanamume mwingine. Yaani vitu zinaendelea huko kwetu. Instead of now handling the issue of fake fertilizer, handling the issue of floods, tunaongelea maneno ya mwanamume mwingine kukaa nyuma ya mwanamume mwingine. So
that sounds so bad. Can they need to check themselves? Wafikirie tu in a literal way.
No, but you see, to people, that is
about it literally. Can I say something on top of that?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
Example, there are these the ones now, the ones we picked, au nawaita side chicks. Wale walichaguliwa na president au ni maslay queen. Hao wengine nitawaita side chicks, hao wenye tulichagua. Shida yao ni hiyo yenye mimi sijawahi ona. Siku hizi ninaonanga videos and I'll name names. Naona Sudi makes reels nowadays. I'm sure Facebook is paying him. Yaani anatembea. Unajua vile maslay queen wanatengenezanga reels, hata mimi sijaitengeneza reel yenye ninatembea nikirudi nyuma, nikionekana looking good. That is what we're seeing out of Sudi.
But he's done a good job though for Sudi. He's done very good infrastructure, and he's really utilized his money, despite the fact that he admits that his education and knowledge is limited. And folks, Sudi is very right, says hawa tu wanasoma wanaongea kizungu mingi but no action.
And don't get me wrong, I actually like the dude. But mimi sitaki kumuonaona video zake zinatokea hapo akitembea akionekana all pretty walking into a helicopter doing actually they need to have brain not to even make those videos getting into helicopters when we have people. Mimi nimefly ndege mara ngapi kwa hii miaka, hata kama sio ndege yangu. Sijawahi pigwa picha ati niko nimesimama nje ya ndege ama ninapanda ndege alafu niende kupostia watu Facebook. It is no knowledge that if I come to Kenya nimepanda ndege. So when these people are taking pictures in helicopters, when their constituencies are not doing well, look at freaking Osoro was sort of running his mouth, lakini president alimfinya vizuri this time, alimdisappoint ile story ya Monda, akamnyamazisha kidogo. You know, all these people, they're all side chicks, wanachoma. Right now, man, I keep on losing this one very important point. One very big important point that I keep on losing.
Dora, as you
if I remember, I'll stop you, Miss, for a second, okay?
Yeah. What for me to be serikali itaongea, wacha nimalize kuongea. But for me, I don't have a problem if Sudi wants to wear a suit. He looks very good, by the way, in those suits. I admire him. I admire the fact that he's making effort than Murkmen, you know, with all the knowledge that he has. That the
point has come.
Yeah, and do you want me to stop so that you go first?
You can finish. Let me say this. This is a Machogu person. How do you stop schools at midnight? Hiyo ni ufala gani hiyo? Where was your brain? Yani hii maji imechoma Nairobi for how many days? You should have made the decision a few days ago. So una make decision when parents have already sent their kids. And they have no money. Who's going to give those kids money to come back?
Go back. Yeah.
Yeah, hiyo point ilikuwa inaniwasha imerudi. Sorry, miss.
I agree, but safety comes first. The decision might have not been timely. But
it came at a time, the night, literally the same day that the kids are opening school. Because
the kids were already on the road. Some of them actually arrived in some of the schools.
I agree.
Some of them arrived at the schools. It's okay.
I totally agree, but still, if it was for safety of the children, it had to be done. It might have cost,
like you're doing something. It was not for safety. If it was safety, angesema a few days ago.
It might have been uncomfortable and inconveniencing to other people, but safety overrides everything. And
he should have done this a few days ago. Me say there's no excuse. He was alikuwa kwa laini anangojea president amwambie yes, funga shule. Shame on them. They need to use common sense.
Actually, Doro, that's the word on the street. He says he had requested for that. He was told to wait. The president of the country.
Kwani huyu president akisianichagua aone vile nitatumia common sense yangu, hata atajua vitu zenye ninafanya.
I don't think that's speculation.
Okay. That's why I said the word on the street.
Yeah, we cannot authoritatively say the president authorized. He has the mandate, he has the power, he has the docket.
Absolutely,
he should make decisions that we will hold him accountable.
Yeah.
The late Saitoti one time said,
but he looks like someone who would wait for the president. Look at him.
Doro, you keep interrupting me. I will lose my...
Sorry, he looks like that. Sorry, I'll shut up.
Serikali is waiting. Nah, this is not good to keep the Serikali on waiting. So I was saying, the late Saitoti said that there comes a time when a nation is greater than an individual.
Yes.
This is that time. That our nation and the well-being, the outlook of our nation, and the safety, overall safety of the people of the Republic of Kenya is greater than the positions and decisions of individuals.
Yes.
Secondly, our country is a country that is vibrant in Africa, a preferred destination of many from the west, south, north, and east. Now, when we have an international airport that is leaking not once, not twice, and yet we have, heaven's sake, a lawyer. You know, let me tell you, a lawyer, when you're a lawyer, you are assumed to be, that's why you're called learned. You've been trained to read and know more, and have the ability to read and know more in other fields.
Yes.
But when we have someone who has the power to summon all the contractors and give them some hours to fix that, and he's not doing that, and we see videos that those customer service or those I don't know what they are called, trying to salvage, by
Scooping water with
water.
Yes.
What kind of image is that to our country? It turns our investors away, which means it affects our economy. The economy, our investors, there is an investor who wants, a businessman who wants to fly within one day, go to Kenya, come back the next minute, and then is thinking, I might be caught in those floods and the airport might be leaking and I might not make it to get to my other business meeting,
yes.
which means I'm going to lose money. So we lose that investor. So this is shameful. And I want to think that while we look at the president, we should hold everyone individually. The president, yes, he appointed you. Yes, he does have the power to fire you. But again, you are given the mandate to dispense your obligations in that capacity. When you are failing, you are not only failing yourself, but also the president and the government overall.
Okay. Haya, mtu ya serikali, kabla sijakupatia nafasi ukuje, I have a couple of things that I would like you to address. The cabinet met and ordered people in Mai-Mahiu, Naivasha area to evacuate to safer grounds. A question that comes up, which is this safer ground? Secondly, what is happening with the parliament? Nobody is calling a meeting. Nobody is coming together and say, hey, allocate money. Wamejengewa bunge towers, imechukua pesa mingi, but we are struggling. There's no response. Many parts of the country are cut off. I think Alfred had posted a picture of a road in Kitale to Lodwar that is completely cut off because the Lami was washed away. There is a whole valley almost 15 feet down that no car can go through. What is happening? Because, if it's here, Army Corps of Engineers will be over there building a bridge, a temporary bridge, and everything goes on as usual. Bwana Bob, tell us, Bwana, where are we heading with this ongoing disaster?
Oh, okay. Good morning, Taklas, and good morning, everybody from wherever you are listening from.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I want to express my deep sympathies and condolences to each and every person that have lost life and lost property and are still displaced in whichever part of the country. It's an unfortunate situation that has befallen our country and befallen the rest of the East Africa community. Also, I want to apologize for being late. I was here and there. So I think first to comment about the flooding situation, I want to believe that as a country, our preparedness was not up to task. It could be a situation whereby the people responsible have either did not take the El Nino warning seriously, because I'm sure the meteorological department had earlier warned about it. It first warned in last year. It didn't happen as anticipated, but this year it came in a different way. But we are not trying to say that juu kwa sababu haikufanyika tusijitayarishe. Na unakuta kwa kila county pia kila financial year na kila county na kila department huwa wanatenga pesa kiasi fulani ya kujitayarisha kwa mambo kama haya, majanga kama haya. Na natumai kama wangejua ya kuwa kutakuwa na shida kubwa kama hili ambalo lingekuja kutokea, kwa mfano sehemu kama Mai-Mahiu, watu wangeelezwa kwa mapema ya kuwa mnaona kuwa inanyesha Nairobi, mvua ni kubwa, inanyesha Garissa, mvua ni kubwa, muanze kutoka wapi? Msikae huko kwa sababu kuna risk kubwa ya mudslides. Na pia unajua geologically ukiangalia mahali kama Mai-Mahiu unakuta kuwa kumekuwa na mudslides mingi hata ile mvua si kubwa sana. So I think it was now upon the county government of Nakuru to go down to Mayu before all these things happened and make sure that people are safe, children are safe, because chances are ingefanyika on a large scale. It's the same thing that will happen. That's going to happen probably in Elgeyo Marakwet. You know, if the heavy rains also hit parts of the Rift Valley, Nakuru, Elgeyo Marakwet, along the valley, inamaanisha kuwa watu wasipojitayarisha saizi mapema kwambua mwanze kusonga mkaya mahali ambapo ni heri kidogo, tutazidi kupoteza maisha. And we've seen many departments and many county governments and even most of our people are we are not proactive. We are reactive to situations. I think this is one thing that is really, really messing us up. We tend to lose many lives. We tend to lose property because of situations. You know, zingekuwa we could not avoid them, but tungeweza kumitigate kidogo. Somebody talked about why did Parliament not meet to allocate funding? Should be allocated. Alafu mtu anasema critical for people to stop building structures left, right, and center on waterways. We should respect Mother Nature. Yeah. And if we don't, it will destroy us. Kibera was submerged because most of the part yenye ilikuwa submerged ni penye maji ilikuwa inapitia. Watu wameenda wakajenga tu kando ya river. What do you expect? And the law is so clear about the riparian land. Don't build. And this is what we always say with Mise. The laws in Kenya are so good. They are so clear. If only we respected them. If only we respected them. If only we told people, hatutaki hapa watu Kibera iko shida. In case tuko na disaster, fire ikitokea, maji ikitokea, nini ikitokea, we risk losing lives. Now see. So where is the politics? I mean, where now the politicians are telling people don't build affordable housing, mutabai kwa slums hapa mpaka siku ile mtaka kutoka. You know.
Lakini sasa Bob, hii affordable houses ungebuild wapi?
Si hao watu wanatoka na wanajenga manyumba.
Yeah. So
we don't need the slums anyway. I mean, who wants that shame?
Yeah.
First of all, why do we even have a representative mwenye ana represent Kibera? Like, we should actually eliminate those constituencies. Technically.
But when you are relocating people,
you're in a better position to answer that question.
No, what I'm asking is, yes, we are going to relocate these people, but where? I think that's a bigger question. Is we need to have a place to take them.
But you see,
yes,
Joel, earlier,
yeah,
houses had been built off Langata Road kwa Southern Bypass.
Yeah,
hapo kando ya barabara. Nyumba zilijengwa.
Yeah.
People were told to relocate. What did they do? They went, got the houses, sold, and came back.
Yeah.
No. That might be partially true. That might be partially inaccurate.
Yeah.
Uncertain, so to say, because Bob.
I have an answer for that when you're done, Mise.
Okay, so I will let you address that, but I just wanted to point back to the president. There's no way we can't sympathize with the president right now. The lives of people are at stake.
That's true.
The president should have just appeared on media and said, I have given the relevant authorities, the people in those capacities, to act effective immediately. Failure to which I will take.
You are on your own.
You are on your own. Only that statement, things would have worked magical, right? That's one. Number two, if you look at, I happen to have lived in Naivasha in my early ages, and I looked at Nakuru, Naivasha, Gilgil. There are so many military camps, military bases in that, especially Nakuru. There's also NYS, the headquarters. My wife actually was in headquarters in NYS, and I used to go there kutoka Nairobi na 150 na biscuits kwenda kumuona college. And
nice biscuits.
And
digestives.
So I remember it's where you get 5K, I think 7 Care.
Yes.
And then as you keep going, Lanet, all
Yes.
those barracks are within there. What is the work of the military? This is the work of the military. Now, we invest a lot of money into National Youth Service. Why is the reaction? Okay. And as Doro comes, I really want to read something that is very interesting here. I'm just looking at the policy so that you can see that these people, what tunachezewa tu hapa, and we are sitting and watching. Now, it says that the broad objectives of the existing disaster management system can be summarized as follows: to access and identify disaster subregions, evolve strategies for the subregions, integrate a national strategic plan, harmonize disaster management for all disasters, and provides for coordination of all disaster management related activities, to promote continuous stakeholder consultation with relevant line, and I want you to underline this one, relevant line ministries, to enhance coordination of interventions, to promote partnership with stakeholders for improved action, to promote and facilitate coordination and access to research-based information for disaster management, and to promote mass education and functional literacy in environment, disaster management, and climate change in collaboration with the ministry in charge of formal education, to promote mass sensitization and awareness creation and disaster management and climate change for the general public, to promote and stress the urgent need of sustainable mainstreaming of disaster management and climate change into development planning and management to promote poverty alleviation on the way to sustainable development. And lastly, to encourage promotion, domestication, and implementation of Kenya's ratified international, regional, and sub-regional agreements, conventions, and treaties which relate to disaster management. This is an accurate plan. And everything is projected, everything is well articulated. What we are lacking is implementation. I can tell you, and I can also, even though I just want to confirm, I don't want to be in the middle, Bob, every ministry has money that is standby for certain things, such as this emergency. There is no doubt about it. Now, maybe that money is squandered too early than the arrival of the disaster, right? And therefore, when the disaster is here, we have nothing in our coffers in order to address the emergency. So for me, I want to begin with the president. People like Itumbi should be stoned in public. The Kenyans are very lenient, because why? These are people who are used as tools that amplify the inabilities and incompetencies of our government. So if you are used as a tool that is going to fool us, then you deserve nothing but than to be stoned, so that one life to be lost to save many lives. Recently, I appeared in another live that I saw one administration police officer was holding brief for the government. And basically, the tone was, the problem is not the government. The problem, it is the responsibility of the people to make sure they are safe and to be literate, that they should not walk into disasters. And I said, that's not true. The primary responsibility of the government is to provide security.
And keep the citizens safe.
Keep the citizens safe. And I said, did you know that even if you try to harm yourself, inflict pain in you, the government
will arrest you.
Will arrest you for trying to interfere with the property of the state. We are the properties of the state, and the properties of the state are at stake right now. The property of the of the Republic of Kenya is being damaged. Why are we allowing too long? Why are we taking too long to react? Bob, you said very well. We are reactionary instead of being proactive. And proactive
That's
is
true.
preparedness, mitigation, response, so that we know that if the airport is flooding, we shut down that airport, we use the alternative airport. We have a backup airport, of which we don't have. And if we have a backup airport, how are people going to get from JKIA to Mombasa or Wilson if that's the backup airport? So this government has failed us, and we have to call it by name, and we need to see the president acting. We need, and that's why, Arama, we need someone like who is representing the diaspora, you know. We need to fire these people. We need to have the power, you know, to fire these people.
I've been singing this and you are fighting me. Now you're coming up with this.
I've never fought you. I've never fought you. But what I'm saying is that it is important that we have these representatives. It is important also to remember that it is you, once you get in, you are sent to that position, you will be like them. And that's what I've been fighting, that as much as you see that, for example, Arama can fit that position, history has it that people from diaspora have even been elected in the position of deputy governors, member of county assemblies, and they have come back to the United States, lived there, while they're earning salaries that they do not deserve to. And then these are people whom we thought that they should know better. They come from countries where policies are working, good governance is there, how things are corrected, if it's creating jobs are there, they know how jobs, and they have seen it one-on-one, but they have failed us. And the classic examples are people that we admire. I admire Murkomen when he stands up and speaks. I admire Osoro when he stands up and speaks, but the actions do not match with the words.
You admire Osoro?
I do like his energy. You know, you like the whole thing is, I do like the fact that there's an element that I pick in him, that when he believes in you, he will fight for you. You know, just like Simba Arati, when he believes in you, he will go with you. And as a leader, you need people like those who are going to be there for you no matter what, right?
Let me answer the question about housing.
Integrity, but as a lawyer, you know what is the code of ethics of a lawyers? It says a lawyer should act in private and in public in a manner that does not demean the profession. But we don't see many lawyers doing that. What has Law Society of Kenya done?
They take their dues and keep quiet.
They keep quiet.
So, Doro, before you comment on the issue of the affordable housing, I just wanted to acknowledge a gentleman who has posted some comments online. Koskei, he says, he posted two statements. The first one, he says, when you are in America or Europe, we always tell each other, drive safe, be careful. People say be careful to tell someone to pay attention to what they are doing because there is a risk of making a mistake. Until we institutionalize our own individual culture, we will still having people getting in trouble. What we have is don't care attitude and bad culture of doing things. Take, for instance, the government had to use force to evict people along certain areas, but still there are resistance. The second statement he gave is Kenyans have a very negative attitude towards government advisory warnings. Look at how American citizens take their own actions toward lives. Now, in addition to that, I just wanted to read another statement. And this is a quote of one of members of parliament. And this is where, you know, that, so to speak, the proverbial rain started beating us. This is Bwana Nelson Koechi says, I do not know where the Kenya Meteorological Department got the information about El Nino. I was skeptical. I tried to look at all the science. I don't know which science he was looking at, and nothing pointed to El Nino. I doubt the equipment used by the Met Department is of international standard. Two questions for him there. If you knew the equipment is not good, why haven't you allocated money? But this was a statement he issued in October 2023 when there was warning about El Nino coming and they were being told to prepare. And to add on top of that, Doro, you're asking about the governor of Nairobi. Remember last year he bought some speedboats that he said he was preparing for floods. I haven't seen those speedboats being used. Doro, let me let you speak on the affordable housing.
Just before you give it to Doro, can I borrow a second?
I was trying to answer your question, but go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Joel, I think you said one thing that is so important.
Yes.
That and it came from that guy Kosgei.
Yes.
That Kenyans are so ignorant. Our people are very ignorant.
Yeah.
Hawajali hata wakiambiwa. Look at those trucks, hizo malori, hizo magari. Unaona maji mnajua kweli maji imebeba magari zingine mbeleni. Na bado wewe na akili yako na
unaenda kupita.
Wamama wenye kuna watoto. Bado anapanda hiyo lori juu na wanataka waende, and then what happens? They all died.
Sudden death. Yep.
Now sometimes tunataka kusema serikali imefanya. But sisi pia kama wananchi sisi ni wajinga. Tuache kudanganyana bwana. Sisi ni washenzi.
Yeah.
Watu wetu wako na upuzi. Sijui mbona tunalamba hii wananchi saa zote tunajaribu kuambia kwani watoto wadogo. Ujinga yenye iko Kenya ni mingi. Najua viongozi wako na ujinga. Wananchi pia wako na ujinga. But ya wananchi ni mbaya zaidi.
Yeah.
Like viongozi wako supposed kuwa example. Sasa nikuwa na kiongozi mjinga si nitafuata example yake.
Doro, we are a reflection. Our leaders
of
are a reflection.
Yes, we are a reflection of those leaders. Absolutely.
Hata ukionanga watu wa Trump, they are a reflection. Ukiona tabia zao, ukiona Trump.
Unajua mimi ni wa Trump, usiongee mbaya.
No wonder. Na nimeenda.
Wait.
Siongee mbaya, hata leo nilipost hata kwa Facebook yangu, mimi ni wa Trump.
Serikali, mbona unasema no wonder? You know, let me tell you, there are a lot of people.
Nilisema no wonder na nimeenda.
Jibu swali yangu ya housing, ngoja nijibu kwanza.
Ngoja kidogo nikutetee Doro. There are a lot of people that Trump transformed their lives and their economically.
No, you are out of order, Mise, you are out of order. Let us stick to the Kenyan problem.
I know, but I just wanted to make sure that you are not harassing Doro.
Chairman.
Wacha turudi kwa Doro aongee mambo ya affordable housing.
Wacha nijibu huyu serikali yetu hapa. Zile affordable housing zilienda wapi? Unaona mtu wa Kibira. Mimi ni mtu, I have to give it as a practical example. Mimi ni mtu wa Kibira.
Na mimi pia niliishi Kibira.
Wewe Bob ni
wewe ulikuwa Amerika nikiishi Kibira.
Najua. Lakini sasa mimi napeana practical example. Sasa wewe ni serikali. Mimi naishi Kibira. Wewe uko na ka position hapo kwa serikali. Either wewe ni MP, MCA or anybody, yeah? Mimi nimezoea kuishi kwa nyumba ya mabati, maisha, minimal. Rent maybe ninalipa 500. Ninakula chakula ya 40 shillings, familia yangu tunakula. Na tuko sawa. Nipewe kinyumba kia serikali kiko hapo nimeambiwa sasa hama aenda huko. Which of course I'll appreciate because that's upgrading my lifestyle. Lakini wewe serikali ukuje uniambie kwa sababu mimi ni mjinga sijui value ya hiyo nyumba ni pesa ngapi. Ukuje uniambie Doro, wacha ninunue hii nyumba kutoka kwako nikupatie 2 million ama 1 million tu, let's start with 1 million. Mimi mwenye sijaiona hata 10,000 in one day, nitakubali haraka sana. So you as serikali, mnangojanga mko kama vultures, mnangojea sasa ile hiyo affordable housing imepeanwa hivi, mnaenda mnanunua for minimum payments, mnalipa hao watu pesa kidogo wanarudi huko kwa slums. That's exactly what happened.
Okay.
That is exactly what happened. So hakuna hatuwezi sema ati hao watu wana upgradeiwa alafu wanarudi wanaacha nyumba wapi. They don't just move out and leave those houses. Those houses end up in some greedy government official who offered minimum payments, a little change to this guy to own those properties. If we dig very well, hizo nyumba zimeziko hapo kwa barabara zenye nani alikuwa anasema Bob, they are owned by some serious big people in government or maybe previous governments.
Yeah. But Doro, let me tell you, what you have done is that you have identified a gap in that policy of affordable housing. Now, and this was either deliberate or was there strategically for people to do what you've just said. So I remember sometimes back, not very long ago, from sometimes back Arama, we had issues kule kwetu nyumbani. Okay, these issues were land related. Okay, and the whole idea was even politicians, the local ones, ganged in order to make sure, because we are within town and we have quite a big space or land.
Yeah.
And they saw the value of the land and they realized we are going to use small people to fight you and bring you down. Guess what? They were very successful. Okay? Because it becomes vita huyu wako America anapiga watu wenye wako nyumbani.
Yeah.
The intention you probably didn't have. By then, something came to my head. When I asked the court, we take what is called diversion, because it's family. And then we went to diversion, and in that diversion, they give people who mediate. In that mediation, they asked me, because I was the sober person there, so they asked me, what is your proposal? How would you like to resolve this issue? And then I said, give everyone equal, right? I then drew the subdivisions and named how it's supposed to be. And then I said, but at the end of giving, we have to put a clause. What does that clause say? That any family member, including me, if we want to sell, we have to sit down as a family, all right? And I agree to sell.
Yeah.
Guess what? The court agreed. It was an order. Okay? It was granted. Now, those people who had purpose to buy, Ikagonga,
they were locked out.
They were locked out. Why? Because I understood this wasn't even about our family. These were people from outside who saw an opportunity and they wanted to cause problems so that they can get an opportunity to grab what you have. So the same thing, Doro, these people we call legislators, that's their job. The counter assembly, the parliament, the Senate, we are brilliant brains. Are you telling me no one in those three honorable houses so that there is a possibility of people manipulating the system and taking advantage of people who have what is called scarcity mentality? Are you telling me probably they saw it, but they saw it as an opportunity to come back and use it for their personal interests? So this is how our policies in Kenya are drafted. They are drafted leaving opportunity for the mighty and powerful to come back and take advantage of the less and unconcerned and ignorant people who we are. Bob said we are a reflection of our own leaders. So that's who we are.
Yeah, that's very true. I think, Missy, that's very true. And it goes back to...
Serikali hauna internet?
Unanisikia?
Go ahead.
Okay,
yeah, I'm saying it all these things, it boils down to... It still boils down to the discipline of our people. I mean, I think we are highly indisciplined. We've been put in a... One is the indiscipline. Two is our people have been put in a situation where they live in so much need. You know, our people are on a survival mode every other time. So when they get anything small, they will fall for it. Whereas I think Missy just put it right. It's very true. All the laws and all the policies are made with loose ends with it, so that these loose ends can be later used to benefit whoever wants to benefit from them. But
the big people.
Yes, but just going back to the same thing about the about the flooding. It's all about our people need to be disciplined this time around. I mean, they need to heed to government warnings. They need to, they need to care about themselves. You know, I saw they say
which government warnings are you talking about, Serikali?
October 2023, a warning was given, which was ignored.
But
So which warning was given end of April?
The El Nino
warning was issued, and that's where the MP for Belgut, Nelson Koech, came and said whatever the Met Department is saying is not true. So when you have a government, and even the president himself, he said, hey, tumeomba hii mambo ya El Nino imepita. And you see where we are, right? Because to me, at the end of the day, the question always comes back to one question, one issue. Yes, this is happening. What are we learning from this? It may not happen in the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years from now. But what are we learning from this so that the next time we don't lose 179 people to a similar issue?
It happened in 1997. What did you learn in 1997?
Exactly. Because 1997, and remember also, Bob, the other problem ni kwamba saizi tunalia ni maji ni mingi. 3 months from now, tutaanza kulia hatuna maji.
Hakuna chakula. But also Arama.
Arama, you've just come. Arama umekuja kabisa.
Yeah.
Kabisa. Arama umekuja kabisa. And so, I had forgotten about it.
Yeah.
We have excess water right now.
Yeah. But
there's nothing that was done before, prior. You see, when they used to say, oh, we'll build ponds, we'll build dams, we'll build what?
Yeah.
Let them burst. It is such a good opportunity to harvest.
Yeah.
The excesses.
We don't have it.
Yeah, but look at it like this, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
We have, how many fresh lake waters do we have in Kenya? Okay, look at Libya, had nothing.
Yeah.
Where did they get their water from?
Yeah.
Libya was a drought. When Gaddafi wrote a book, he said, God gave me knowledge and wisdom. The Green Book, I think you have read it.
Yeah.
He said, I found this place a drought, but I turned it to be green.
Yes.
Why? We have Lake Victoria, okay?
Mm-hmm.
How have we utilized Lake Victoria to run and supply water for irrigation purposes?
Uh-huh.
How have we used the rivers that we have, the huge, like River Abuja in Kisii, for instance? Have we utilized it so that we can tap water, so that we have enough supply waters? When I grew up, I saw functional taps, water running, water that was being supplied all through. What happened? Okay, so I am looking at a country where people, when I grew up, I saw, for example, in the hospital, was well lit, you know, the staff quarters was amazing.
Yes.
And to date, even when you look at it, you see it's amazing, but the maintenance, the sustainable, they don't have the sustainability or sustainable plan on how to maintain these premises. Here in Canada, when we were talking about affordable housing, you don't have to own that house. Why do you want to own that house? Why is it supposed to be transferred directly to your name? Why? You get into social assistance, we'll identify you. Arama, you're not going to be poor the rest of your life.
No.
When your children grow up, if you were poor, maybe one of your children might be a messiah, and we'll take you out of there and buy you a place somewhere else.
Yeah.
The house is there, you should pay the minimum amount or rent, subsidized on a need basis.
Yes.
Right? I've seen people who have a whole unit on a need basis. They pay like $80, $200. And when they graduate and get out of the situation of financial crisis they leave the house for the people who need it.
Yeah.
Why would people be given Kibera housing, the Langata units that were built. I lived in Kibera those days. I never knew how the houses were allocated. All right, and where is Raila right now? Okay, why hasn't he gone to the streets? Right? Why hasn't he?
Streets are flooded. He can't swim.
Why hasn't he gone and said, I am picketing. I have a right under Article 37, Article 35. Why is he not now? Is his protesting selective in the manner that he applies the Constitution? And this is the pretentious nature.
So unataka protesters were drowned
of our leaders. You talked about Nairobi, okay? The other day, Arama, I looked at, my mom called me, and I happened to be close to the forest, and there's a river down there. And when he called me at the corner of my house, I see water coming from down, okay? And it's coming from nowhere. I don't see where it's coming, but I'm seeing it's coming from down. Behind, I'm seeing the water keeps coming, and I looked at it like, what am I gonna do? I mean, what am I gonna do? All right. So where is, you see that if you are patriotic, you have to protest at all times when there is need. That tool of picketing that is envisaged in the Constitution should not be selectively used. It should be used when there is need for it to be used. Now Raila is quiet. Now he's gonna be a messiah tomorrow when he wants to fight Ruto. Okay, when Ruto is not giving him what he wants. This is pretentious nature of our leaders, not only Raila. Where are these other Kina Kalonzo and all that? They are just calling us on press conferences and giving us bullshit, statements just to be relevant. We want them action. I want to see Raila. I want to see Wetangula. I want to see Kalonzo. I want to see Martha Karua wakivaa gumboots, wakienda to the most affected, because they are very good cars, going there and supplying those blankets. That's when Doro is going to be there and say, I am going to give to the cause of Raila Amolo Odinga, of going to Kibera or going to Mathare North to be or to stand with the people who are being affected. These are the people who voted for you. Even if you didn't win, they woke up very early in the morning, they went and queued, and they want to vote you. Where are you now when they need you most?
Okay. Wow. Guys,
you know what's going to happen in the next, after every flooding,
yes,
there's a major drought coming.
Yes, that's coming. Yes, absolutely.
Last year, the year before, South Africa was experiencing, the southern part of Africa was experiencing huge flooding, right? But now they're experiencing a prolonged drought.
Serious, yeah.
The same thing will happen to us. So we are coming from a disaster
to another,
a rain disaster, and a disaster of drought, famine, and hunger is coming after this. Will we be prepared, or will we have the same discussion like we're having right now? That what is the disaster preparedness? What are the mitigation issues? What do we do with the children? How do they go to school? How do we do this and that and that and that? So these are the same questions, and I can assure you, we'll come back to the tackle and we'll discuss about, there's a prolonged drought in Kenya. We are doing a fast drive to feed children. It is coming. So after this, is the government now going to be more proactive? Are the departments of government going to be more proactive in ensuring that when the drought comes, we will not face these problems going forward? So I hope even as everything is starting to go, because probably maybe the flooding will go down in the next 1 or 2 weeks, and then now another process will start. I'm hoping that everything is going to get better. But I highly doubt I see us going back to the same cycle of events again.
Yeah, and to me, the one thing I would really, and that's why I posted in the group, I say, if there was a time I really needed to interview or talk to someone in government, this is the time. Because we have to start holding someone accountable and ask questions and say, hey, Member of Parliament, what are you doing? Okay, this has happened, you are not prepared. how are you going to be prepared for the next thing that is coming? Because we know for sure something else is coming up. It's just a matter of months. Then we'll be back here again talking of a different nature of disaster. How are we going to address this issue? How are we going to be prepared? What is your reaction? How do you react to these issues? You guys know, for example, Bob, Doro, and I think me said the same thing. We get maybe once a month and sometimes once every 2 months, we get either on radio and TV, they get to test the emergency systems. And they say this is a test signal to make sure that the emergency system announcement is actually working. These things are done on a regular basis. I know, like for us, when we have the tornado sirens, they have to test them to make sure they're actually working, so that when these things start happening, you get a warning, because those sirens are loud. You would know something is happening and you'll be ready for it. But the problem is we don't have that in place. But until we get and identify people we can hold accountable and ask those questions and say, hey, you say this is going to happen, it never happened. You play back the video. Then the person can be able to answer and say yes or no. We need to get to that level. We actually start holding these people accountable. And to me, that's what I would like to see. And we'll strive as the Taco Show for the diaspora. One, to see if we can get our diaspora representative to come to this show and talk to us. And two, to find any government official we can get hold of, parliament or any other county assemblies, to talk to them and ask them these tough questions, so that at the end of the day, at least to inject that idea in their mind that you can do more than just sitting and looking pretty on a seat while you're not doing anything, when you do actually have the capacity to do something. I don't know. So let me just give you guys.
Arama, look
something.
at this.
Yes.
Look at it this way.
Yes.
Look at it this way.
Yes.
Time and again we've tried this, and
Yes.
we've seen that it is not. It is refused. I don't know if it is working or not. Is not working.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a discussion behind the tent about some of these things.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of things that we need to sit down and review about our tackle edition.
Yeah.
And how we handle business and do stuff. Look at it even within ourselves. I am pro-government. We say pro-government. You is the neutral guy, and and everything goes on the way it should happen.
Yeah.
When you criticize an individual who has not performed their work,
Yeah.
some people take it's personal.
Yeah.
We have suckers within ourselves.
Yeah.
And we've said, we need somebody. I mean, we've always said, even just to have somebody who represents the diaspora.
Yeah.
The PS has never appeared.
No.
Somebody told me that she was a diaspora.
Yeah.
She's never. We have people in government, the very powerful people in government who listen to the tackle.
Yeah.
They know of the plight of the tackle. But again, it will go back. It is also probably maybe, maybe we'll just say it behind the tent. I will express my frustration later on, and I can't say it here.
All right.
I would support what Bob is saying.
Yeah.
Hapa tutaongea, you turn off this show, umeenda kwako, who cares? Matter of fact, we are in very good countries. That's the reality.
Yeah.
Where we like what you've said, any workplace somehow either quarterly or there are fire drills. The reason why those fire drills are there, and you have to act as though it's real. You have to leave within a certain time. You have to assemble. You have
assembly place. You have to be counted.
You have to be counted. Your manager you have to stand whatever certain corner where your manager has to check this and have to write a report at the end of it, as though they mimic it as though it was real.
Yeah.
Now, what I think we underestimate the power of people. The power that we have is so humongous. It's that, remember, we were celebrating the president of Senegal some times back.
Yes.
Who decided that that young man is going to be the president?
The people.
So why is it that even President Ruto, even on these grounds, that we are losing people, the lives of people, under his watch with very little action?
Yeah.
You know, could they be grounds for impeachment? Has he violated his oath of office to serve and to protect the lives of the people of Kenya? Has he? So is he negligent? I mean, why? Those are some of the questions that we want to. And sometimes we feel we are afraid to call it as it is because we might become targets, like Bob said. People personalize. People don't like to be criticized. And I can tell you, Arama, you are an elder. Even in your own church,
Yes.
Seventh-day Adventist Church, our own church, go and question even your own pastor and the elders. They will punish you.
Yes.
Huh? So we have a pandemic. The pandemic that we have, before we even address the pandemic, the disasters that we have a pandemic, even that religious pandemic, that you can't question people who are in authority. You have to comply. Lazima usikize serikali, okay? But we can criticize on social media. Kenyans are very known, very good warriors on social media.
Yeah.
We have not marched. We have not marched. How many do we have to wait for Raila to tell us to go and stand up? We shouldn't.
No.
We should do the right thing. We have freedom of expression. We have a good country. It's not like, Uganda, where we express ourselves. And let me tell you, the governor of Nairobi, I think my sister Dora has been poking the governor of Nairobi. Me, from leadership perspective and from any leadership that I've been engaged, I've come to know that you might come in as a leader with very good ideas, but they are shut at the earliest. Okay? Unaambiwa sio hivyo, sio hapa, hapa vitu hazifanyi hivyo. You will be shown the door. And then before you know it, the cartel is so powerful than you.
Wow.
How many people have you seen? Wameleta, unakumbuka nani? Our great, the guy was in judiciary, Maraga, the Chief Justice.
Yes.
Ulikumbuka kuna kitu alifanya na hata akawa na side chick akatokea?
Yeah.
He had to keep quiet. So
lakini ule alikuwa side chick wa ukweli ama ilikuwa bandia? I think ilikuwa story.
We don't know.
Ilikuwa bandia.
Maraga pekee yake anajua.
Yeye ndiye anajua. Na wacha nikwambie, the fact that he kept quiet, the fact that he was a pro justice guy, tells you that kila mtu ako na closet. Saa hii labda nikiamka nikitoka hivi mtu anaweza sema, someone was telling me today, be careful with TikTok.
Yeah.
And then I said, what do I have to fear? I have nothing. I have no secret. I have nothing that I am afraid of. And then she told me, you don't know.
Yeah.
Mtu atakuja hata na nudes.
Yeah.
Na wafunge kichwa tu na waseme hizo ni nudes zako. How do you prove?
Yeah.
Only your wife who knows about your nudes.
Yeah.
So, to undo that,
it will cost you a lot. Yeah, absolutely.
Cost your reputation.
No, TikTok ni kubaya. Nilitetea mtu.
So you
accidentally nilipita nikatukanwa jina kubwa.
Yeah.
So we live
within 30 seconds.
Yeah. We live in a country that is disastrous. And one more last thing I want to say is that I always ask myself that what if the people in the countries that we live lived a reckless life and leadership like where we come from? today probably we wouldn't enjoy the serenity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Of the environment where we live.
Yeah.
The culture that we enjoy here. The life that we sit here and compare and say our country should be like this. Why is it not us from our country telling these other countries,
you need to be like us?
You need to be like us. Why is it that it is always us, trying to say, you should be like these countries? Do we have the ability? Do we have the brains? Do we have the resources? We have failed to manage the little resources that we have. And yet we have spent more time to borrow, to increase the burden in our country.
Yes.
We borrow, we misappropriate. We borrow, we misappropriate. The generations we live, kuna mtu kitambo alikuwa anafanya kwa wholesale. This guy alikuwa na policy mzuri sana. Nilikuja understand many years back. Nilikuwa namuona ni mtu mjinga sana. Akilipo mshahara tu hivi yote, anaenda kwa hoteli ananunua kuku mzima, anaomba soda, anaambiwa kula bwana, wewe wekewa, anakula. Nasema I don't know about tomorrow. I don't know about tomorrow. Wacha nikule leo because tomorrow I don't know. Now what did I come to learn out of it? I came to learn that our leaders don't care about the future because they might not be there anyways. So you telling them someone is 65 years old and you're telling them, you're giving him a strategic plan of 30 years.
Yeah,
he knows he will die. He would have died. He doesn't care of his children. He's stealing now, hoping that the children will maintain the wealth. So you and me, the sons of a peasant, how we don't have the opportunity, or our parents did not do better, or were not smart enough to steal and manipulate things to be at the top, to steal on our behalf.
Yeah.
And that's why we are struggling today.
All right. So I'll give each one of you just a minute to give your final thoughts, final remarks, so that we can conclude the show.
Can I start?
Yes, please.
Even first, before I continue, I want to upload nataka ni muheko na ni mulimbukizie sifa za dhati Rais wa Uganda. Juzi katika mkutano wa AIDA. Alisema mambo ambayo nilikuwa nataka kuyasikia kutoka kwa kiongozi yote. Tunaweza sema ni mzee amekaa sana, amefanya nini? Lakini ukisikia masuala ambayo alikuwa anataja na kugusia, yalikuwa ni masuala na miundo msingi ambayo yanaweza kujenga Afrika, yanaweza kujenga watu wetu. Haijalishi amekuwa pale kwa muda kiasi gani, lakini mawazo yake na yale ambayo alitamka hiyo siku yalikuwa ni masuala ya busara sana. Na natumai kila nchi katika bara la Afrika wataweza kuanza kufuata wasia ambao aliwapa viongozi ambao wanakuja.
Yeah.
I listened to him and I saw a futuristic statement from the old man.
Yeah.
We always dismiss him, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of things to learn from Museveni. If nobody has heard his speech at AIDA, please go look for Museveni at AIDA. He spoke.
Can you post it in the group, please?
Yeah, I posted it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you posted it.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. I just wanted to say that hiyo ingepita bila mimi kutamka. Nilikuwa nataka tu Monda angekuwa leo ndio Monda tena nisikie akiweka kamnyuzo kama ataingilia haya masuala ama atasema mambo mengine. Lakini so lakini masuala ya garika la mvua ambalo limetokea, jambo la kudhoofisha na la kuvunja moyo. Najua pia Dubai walipitia masuala kama haya. Hatuko hapa kuweka nchi yetu kwenye hadi ya aibu. Tuko hapa ili kuweza kusemezana na pia kuweza kutathmini masuala ambayo yanaendelea katika nchi yetu, na pia tujaribu kuona njia mbadala ya kufanya mambo ili tuweze kuikuza nchi yetu na tuweze kuiona ikinawiri. Sisi wote hapa tunatakia nchi yetu iwe nchi yenye fanaka. Tunatakia Rais Daktari Ruto pia afanikiwe na serikali yake inawiri katika masuala ambayo anawania kufanya kwa minajili ya wananchi. lakini hatuwezi kubali mambo yakienda visivyo tuwe wa kunyamaza na kupiga tu makofi. Kama kitu nzuri tutasema, kama kitu kidogo inakuwa potofu tutasema, ili tuweze kuona nchi yetu kinawiri na iwe katika hali njema. Kwa haya machache, Mwenyezi Mungu awabariki, na abariki bara la Afrika, na abariki ushirikiano wa Afrika Mashariki, abariki nchi yetu ya Kenya pia.
Yep. Thank you. Asante sana. Haya, Mise.
Naomba tu kutofautiana na ndugu yangu Bob. Viongozi kama Museveni ni viongozi ambao wameturudisha nyuma kama bara la Afrika. Viongozi ambao wamepata nafasi ya uongozi na nafasi kwa jukwaa mbalimbali za kuleta mabadiliko katika bara la Afrika, na sana sana nchi ambazo wanazoongoza tangu waingie uongozini hadi hivi sasa. Sasa kwa nasema hivi, ndugu Bob, if I am a father, I am a parent, and then in my heydays, when I'm energetic, when I have the opportunity to change the trajectory of my family, as a father, as a parent, and then I failed to do so right in my home, and then I am many years later, when my children have grown up, they are now adults, and now I go advising them from outside. And on some international forums and or some forums saying, my children, if you want to be responsible citizens of the Republic of Kenya, this is how you should have lived. And this is the projection of how our family should be. You see, then would have disqualified or then would have tungekuwa tumemkosea sana aliyesema kwamba charity begins at home. You know, if you go back to the early age of Museveni was a beacon of hope.
Yes.
For the Republic of Uganda. People had very high expectations before the was it Obote or
it was Milton Obote before
Milton Obote. Before hosting him, people had very high expectation and transformation, and in his early ages he appeared that he would bring transformation not only in Uganda but also to the neighboring countries.
Yeah.
But we have seen nothing than oppression in the people of from the people of Uganda.
Yeah.
And nothing has really, or rather is forthcoming from that nation. See people like Bobby Wine.
Yeah.
People like Bissinger, the way he has treated them. So he's not a role model. I would rather the guy from Rwanda, what is his name? Kagame.
Yeah.
He has done exceedingly well.
Yeah.
He has invested, the fact that he is overstayed in power, he has invested a lot in his people. Now, let me tell you, if you look at the number of refugees people leaving Uganda to seek refugees, status in other countries, is very high compared to Rwanda. Rwanda, the people who live there to seek refugees out here are very few. Why? That is why, imagine Paul, is it Kagame or Kagame?
Paul Kagame.
Imagine he managed to convince Britain that yes, we can, anyone seeking refugee there, bring him to Uganda.
To Rwanda. Yes.
What does that mean economically to his country? Now look at when you fly through Rwanda, you see nothing. You see good housing, good infrastructure. Now, if you look at the number of people from Kenya going to Rwanda to work in the banking industry,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
education, teaching English, and
Yep.
if you look at this president, how he embraces his culture.
Mm-hmm.
When he speaks in Kinyarwanda, the language that is only people can understand. Do you know the beauty in that? That sometimes you can speak in a language that only your people can understand, you know? So he embraces culture. And this is why I see Museveni, let me tell you, do you know when what is this guy from Libya? When Gaddafi was talking about the centralization, the central bank having a reservoir, our own reservoir as Africa. You know who was fighting? Museveni was among the people who were fighting the idea, the noble idea. Okay? So, but if you look at Gaddafi, despite the fact that he was seen as a dictator, he did something for his people. Today, there's good housing with ultra-modern facilities. So, to say the least, I would think that you might have good things that you can say theoretically, but we must equate it to actions. And I want to think the same thing that William Ruto is doing. You know, we gave him grace period. I personally gave William Ruto the grace period. And I feel that he has overstayed in prayers. Now see what the prayers has cost us. Abundance of rainfall, or floods. Him and the deputy president.
Yeah.
We are overwhelmed. Their prayers we are overwhelmed. It is like the children of Israel. At one point, they told Moses, go and tell your God, we want to see him here. We are tired you sending you to us.
Yeah.
Go tell him we need to see him. And Moses went to God and said, God, they said, you need to talk to them, you need to see them. And God purposed for them to meet him. And when God appeared, he appeared in form of lightning and thunderstorms. And the people of Israel said, Moses, tell your God, we don't want to see him anymore. Please let him stay.
We can deal with you.
We can deal with you. Now we are also telling Gachagua and William Ruto to tell God that we are not able to withstand the floods. The prayers we want now is the prayers of prosperity as a nation, prayers of wisdom in our leaders, prayers of people who mean well in our country and who mean to transform and leave our country prosperous. You know, just like when the children of Israel left Egypt, prosperity followed them, right? And Doro, it's the same thing. The same way when they were in Israel, the prosperity followed them. We are asking also our leaders to pray for prosperity for all of the people of the Republic of Kenya and not for few. And that's what we would like to see, so that we have good leadership, we have people who mean well for our country, because our country is perishing for lack of knowledge. Thank you.
Just a quick correction. The president before Museveni his name was General Tito Okello.
Yes.
And he was a military leader that was overthrown by Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and that's how he came into office.
I think Obote was
also overthrown by another Okello before Tito.
Is it not Idi Amin? I think it is Idi Amin.
No, Idi Amin was there. Tito came back, and then there was another Okello who stayed for like 2 days. He was kicked out by Tito, and then Tito stayed 181 days around there. Museveni came in.
Kenya, we should have such short governments, man. I like that.
No, don't wish that.
Listen, just before Doro comes in, all I was saying about Museveni was just listen to the message he posted. I mean, whatever he said.
Yes.
And then you can make your own conclusions.
Okay.
It makes sense for the continent. Take the message, leave around the messenger.
Doro?
Yeah, and before I give my final parting shot, I want to respond to Evangelist Mise here.
Yeah.
Thank you for teaching us the Bible, reminding us a little bit. But I just want to respond to you when it comes to the Museveni part that Bob shared with us and your reaction to it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, something that's called a role model is a very personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
And sometime you may not like the person and his style of doing things and what he has done in the past, but he can give a message that touches your heart.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give an example. I was not a Trump supporter. I didn't care for him at all when he was president before, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But right now, the more I listen to Trump talk from the campaign trail,
Mm-hmm.
at first I was like, well, I'm liking what he's saying, but I still don't like him. But then now he has actually lured me by his message into liking what he's saying and making me look back at what I didn't see when I was blocking my mind
Mm-hmm.
when he was president, because I was blocking my mind. I don't like the dude. So I didn't even notice the difference that there was then and now, you see? So when Bob came and told us about Museveni, uh, we don't have to use the past to judge what he said now. I've not listened to the message, but I can't wait to go listen to it. But the messenger can be a very not credible messenger can relay a very credible message. Just remember that. So for me, as my parting short, I have it in point form. Number one, for me, I actually feel very, very bad for our president. I feel bad because the people who have surrounded him just shouldn't be there at all. Those people are embarrassing him, and they're like little infants who are waiting for mommy to feed them. And mommy here being the president, who is like an octopus because he has so many hands stretched everywhere.
Yeah.
He has to run our international relations. He has to run the country, which is divided into so many parts. He has a family, man. He has his own home. He has everything. So he hired these people who have turned out to be babies that are supposed to handle such those all of his tentacles and make them look whole, make the whole government look whole. But now they have all decided to be babies and they're all waiting for his permission and feed from him. And that is very, very disappointing. And that's why we're seeing our country going through the mess it's going through right now. We have no emergency response, no disaster plan. And we live, and our capital city has no urban, it doesn't depict that there was even any urban planning made to come up in this city. I am not an urban planner. I'm not an engineer in any kind of way, but I believe there should be some form of brain work that is put around to design a city like Nairobi to be functional. So I'm thinking there should be some work that should be put together and it comes up to make this city. I might not have the right words to use, but I'm sure there is a way that brain system should work to make the city work. We don't have that. We have just failed. Our airport, man, it is so sad. I don't know if you guys saw the runway just
Yeah.
a few days ago. The runway was flooded.
Yeah.
The office of the OCS, I have a picture, I'll post it in the group. Office of the OCS was flooded paka ukuta katikati at the airport. What does that say? What's going on? But again, baby Slay Queen, Murkomen, I don't know what he has said.
Yeah.
So honestly, to me, the president really needs to fire his cabinet and hire people. Literally, I'm sorry, and I was interviewed on this studio a couple years ago, before even we knew who was going to be running for president. And I did say that I would pick Matiang'i, and if it's not Matiang'i, I want to run myself. That is wasted brain we have there. He's sitting somewhere, maybe in another country or at home. I think he's back and forth, relaxing, but that's a waste of brain we have there. And I'm sure if Matiang'i was in government, there would be a little, not just as president, even just as a cabinet minister, we would have had some different kind of response, because that man is proactive. So hold on, don't interrupt me, Missy. I see you. I see your mouth. Yeah, I know you. Yes. So we are wasting brain that would actually help our country. Okay. Let me finish my points before any of you responds. And another thing, MPs and MCAs, man, you guys need to stop running around showing us money. You need to stop running around showing us how you can get in a bloody helicopter. Yes, that is stupid. How you're landing and taking off in a helicopter. You know shamba sana. They need to know this. That actually you know shamba sana kuenda kujishow vile unapanda helicopter na vile unashuka. Any of us, if we put our funds together and not do what we're supposed to do in our houses, we can get on those helicopters and land anywhere at any time and show off pictures for Instagram.
Yeah.
But instead of them doing their job, that's what they're doing. Showing us how they can land at a funeral with a helicopter, take off again with them being conveniently recorded so they can post it on Facebook, land in another funeral, tukanana huko, go somewhere else. You know, that is stupidity. They need to get up and do what we put them there to do. At least them, we hired them. The babies that the president has in cabinet, we didn't hire those ones. That's on the president. He needs to get rid of those ones. These ones, we voted for them. So they need to get serious and work for us. Or else, Wakenya amkeni fungueni macho, toeni hao watu next time, wasiingie 2027, put new fresh blood, people that can actually work. And don't recycle them.
I've had so much praise by the chair. I've had a lot of praise on a one. I know, najua ndapigwa mawe saizi hapa.
Nakupiga tu kabisa.
On a one, Mr. Matiang'i. Oh, Dr. Matiang'i. Hapewe janiheshimu ya.
Yeah.
There was a mess that happened in Nyayo House on the passports. He was a very proactive man. Went there, hey, in 72 hours, I will make sure that all these things are sorted out. What happened after 72 hours? All these people, wanafanana wote. Tuache ku.
Where, keep your point.
Doro.
Hold on, we nyamaza.
Tuache kulamba mtu hapa na tunamdanganya hapa na alikuwa tu. Ana difference na watu wengine.
Huwezi compare slay queens hao wenye wako saizi na Matiang'i, you can't. So as and another thing, what I was
tukipinpoint ya Matiang'i hapa tutafunga show leo.
We nyamaza kwanza Bob. Serikali, si ulipewa time yako? Wacha niongee. Si lazima tusikizane hapa serikali. Hapa ni serikali na opposition.
Yeah.
Lakini tuko na opposition. We don't even have opposition. Hata sijui nijiite nini. Hatuna opposition. Mimi napenda Ruto. Ruto ni rais wangu.
Wewe sasa ndio slay queen.
Mimi ninapenda Ruto. Ni rais wangu. Sasa sina choice. Kwa sababu baba amechukuliwa na Afrika. Anachukuliwa. Sasa hatuna baba. So hatuna cha kupigania. So the emergency response needs to be revamped, man, in Kenya. Not even revamped. We need one.
They just need to be done.
No, we actually need one. We need a response, an emergency response system, because I don't think we have any.
The DP announced 5 days ago about the emergency response center.
Nasema hizo system ziko. Watu lazima wajibike. Nasema watu lazima wajibike na wafanye kazi zao. Hiyo ndio shida yetu tu. Hata sheria, mimi ni mwanasheria mkuu. atakwambia Kenya kuna sheria za ajabu.
Very good.
Very progressive. But hakuna hata moja inakuwa implemented vizuri. Kama chapter 6.
Watu wote wangekuwa nyumbani.
Nadhani I don't think there's kuna nchi hii dunia iko na sheria ya chapter 6. Mnaambia venye mtabehave. Ni Kenya peke yake ndio tuko nayo.
Na Kenya by the way tuko na manners sana. Tuko na manners hapa nje. Tuna represent Kenya vizuri hapa nje.
Yes.
Doro na Bob.
Yes.
You know, as an history student.
Ati umesema nini?
Nimesema Doro na Bob.
Nilidhani umesema Doro na Bo.
Hapana. Doro mimi najua mimi Doro.
Tuteta Kenya sasa hizi.
Mimi najua Doro. Mimi najua what to say before Doro and what not to say.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you, the truth is, I wanted to say this, and I wanted to reference that as an history student, yesterday informs me of today and tomorrow. Your actions yesterday, if your behavior observed yesterday, it will inform me what type of a person are you today and probably in the future. Now, even I want to read something here. It says that
unajua umechukua my time.
Kidogo.
Yamaliza point yangu. Yeah.
Kidogo tu. It says that Ackroyd explains that it was the hope of every Israelite that he would be remembered for the good which he had done, and that his name or his good reputation would endure permanently. Okay? Ackroyd's view shows that after death, the only legacy that outlasts death is a good name and reputation, which the person has inscribed permanently to the sands of time. In other words, no rich person is remembered after death for his or her great wealth, but for the charitable and positive impact that he or she made with the wealth while on earth. The poet of Proverbs 22 verses 1 perhaps knew that only a good name and reputation last forever, hence prioritized it over great wealth.
Is that Proverbs chapter what?
22 verses 1.
Are you sure?
22.
Yeah. Okay. And what I wanted to say in regards to that, unajua kuna mtu hata akisimama hivi like Obama. Do you know what Obama did? Obama was the most dangerous person ever United States ever had. He deported a lot of people. He killed a lot of people through using drones. But because of the good reputation,
he killed Gaddafi.
And the sense of hope.
Don't forget. And
yes. So, and the LGBTQ and all these issues that, but again, when you look at him, he looks a righteous person because of the good reputation that he earned. So for me, anything that comes out of Museveni, I have to reflect it on his... I'm just making a point that anything that comes out of a leader, I must reflect on his actions and his commitment to humanity. That is why we honored people like Wangari Maathai. That's why we honored people like Gandhi, right? Because these people had a great commitment to humanity. Now, when we have people who have zero regard to humanity, advising us how humanity should be honored and treasured in the future.
I'm feeling invaded, my space.
When they have the authority to influence it now, these people should not be given the platform after all.
Chairman, I think
wacha Doro summarize yake tumalize.
Yeah, I need protection because that was my parting shot that he took. This lawyer.
Yeah. Go ahead, Doro, finish up.
Okay. So as I said, I actually used the wrong words that the emergency response needs to be revamped. No, we actually need an emergency response. And you guys came up and said that, we have one. No, I've not seen it. Sijaona. Inasemwa tu. So as diasporans, we need a chance to mimic and implement plans from our respective countries. hii government inaweza tu hata si nilipia tu hata school fees 5,000 tu useme Doro, can you just go and learn the insides and outs of how the emergency response is in Indiana, wacha hata America, in Indiana.
Yeah.
Then come here and train some people, and this is how much we will pay you. Hata wasiponilipa bora wanilipie tu ticket na mali ninaishi na wanilipie bills for the time I'm going to train. I will appreciate. I
Even
can do
free.
that.
Even free.
Yes, but I will give the information for free. I'll go there, train people so that those people can also go train others. Yeah, wafanye hivyo. We need something very very soon, and hapo ndio pali wanatudharau. Akili zetu zinaishia hapa Amerika, hawataki kutupenda. Unajua Moi alikuwa smart. Hata Kenyatta, the older Kenyatta, I'm not saying the newer one was not smart, but the older one.
Was your boyfriend?
Oh, stop it. Don't go there, please. Usiniamshie bloggers wewe saizi. Wamepumzika. So, the older Kenyatta, he was smart. I mean, those first two governments were smart because watu wenye wametumwa nje wakasome walikuwa wanarudishwa, wanatumika to fix the country, to run the government. They were using the brains. Sasa sisi wanatuona vile tunapanguza wamama wetu, wanatudharau. Wanatuona sisi wote tunapanguza wamama, hakuna kitu tunaweza leta kwa hiyo nchi. Hata ule wa kupanguza mama hapa Amerika ako na something anaweza enda geuze hospitali ya Kenya. Saizi, I'm telling you the truth.
Yes.
But they need to take our brains, we go back and fix our country so that nchi yetu ikuwe vizuri. Saizi Sakaja amechoma hata ye kwanza hata rudi. Hiyo tu najua, hiyo ninajua. Ye hata rudi. And then I just want to see our country being what it is seen as, because all the African countries wanaona Kenya, hata sijui kwa wanajuanga Kenya kama Nairobi iko Kenya. I think they separate Kenya and Nairobi.
Yeah.
They love Kenya and they also love Nairobi. So I don't know whether they know. But whatever it is, they look up at us. And then I've just sent a picture on the group ya WhatsApp ya Masai Mara saizi nimetumiwa tu.
Flooded.
Man, I was in Masai Mara just a couple months ago. And for me to just see it looking like that, it is sad. It's very, very sad. So tourism, tuanga chini. Maslay Queens wanapumzika. Kila kitu imetwangwa. Transportation, everything. Imeenda tu chini. Bomb. So it's like, we actually need relief from the Western country right now. Western countries, we need relief. We need to announce.
Yeah, but that's the language the Western countries want to hear so that we continue being enslaved.
But hatujiwezi. Tumeonyesha hatujiwezi.
Why is Uganda not helping us? Why is Tanzania not helping us in South Africa?
Hatujiwezi wewe, tukubali tu. Saizi tumejionyesha vibaya. Yani tumeonyesha example mbaya, hatujiwezi. Tuna need America, Germany, wapi hata Hitler wote wakuje watusaidie kama wako. We need them all. Thank you.
For the record,
Yes.
Doro ameniharibia siva and I had a prospective hapa nje.
Yeah.
For the record, hii mambo ya kusema watu wote tunapanguza wamama. So for the record, I want to distance myself. And secondly,
what is wrong with kupanguza wamama?
I can't leave Doran just like that about Matiang'i. Matiang'i should add his opportunity. Now we have people like Akinandemo. They are in the country. They were given.
Demo is back in the country.
They were given. They were given power. They used it wisely. They were not inflated and sense of.
Yeah, sasa put Ndemo and Matiang'i. That will be a perfect.
So
the country will be good.
What the people like Akina Murkomen should learn from Matiang'i. I honestly don't want to see Matiang'i back in at the top there, because I think what these other people, any person who is going to be appointed, I think they should learn that when you have the goodwill of the president, extend and do your job as you're supposed to do.
Just like Matiang'i.
You are going to gain double favor. Okay? You're gaining
president
from your boss and from the country. And you will live with a good reputation. But for Matiang'i, he was so much inflated, sense of self-importance. Let him stay where he is. Alisumbua watu akina Miguna, the generals, deporting a citizen to a foreign nation. That was not very good. So
I think he had his...
No, I didn't agree with him on that point, but Miguna pia ni kichwa ngumu. But I didn't agree with what Matiang'i and UK did on that. Sikubaliana na hiyo nimekubali.
Hiya, guys. We are wrapping up now. Thank you so much. I know we can go. So next time you need to come early so that we can have a longer discussion. But
Chairman Bob, serikali lazima ifanye closing remark.
Serikali alitoa remarks.
Tafungiwa. Tafungiwa.
Mise. Aje mise wewe senior government official, mimi ni junior wako.
Wewe uji Bob, mise leo aliruka
Hapana,
huyu ni opposition leo.
Hajaruka.
Wewe ulikuwa hapa.
Hata sasa najua Gerald anatakiwa aenda mark off register.
Ametoka kwa payroll.
Yes.
Chairman.
Sisi hatulipwi, sisi tunaongea tu hatulipwi.
Chairman, in this government, you are allowed to critique.
Mpaka wewe ujui Bob. Mpaka leo alisema Alfred ni serikali yako. So alitoka kabisa.
Wewe nikikritik Rigiji saizi asiataenda kwa makanisa aanze
kuombea
kuniongea vibaya.
Wacha tufunge show. Asante sana.
Mimi amefanya the right thing.
Yeah.
Anatoa sisi atupigi serikali, tunapiga makosa. Simi ndio wanalima cabinet secretaries hapa left right and center mpaka jina slake mimi ndo nimeleta.
Ni wewe.
Na imetoka kwa government. So sisi tunapiga makosa kwa serikali.
It's constructive criticism.
Yes.
Asanteni sana. Thank you so much, guys. Let's meet next week to continue this discussion and
what happened to Big
work hard.
Big Ted aliniandikia message akasema kuna wageni wameshindwa kutoka kwake.
Yes.
They've been trying to see themselves off. That's what he wrote.
Yeah. So thank you so much, guys, and we appreciate. Thank you, my technical person at the studio, for being with us. Asanteni sana. Let's meet next week. Let's continue this discussion. And please, if you have any contact for any government official or parliament, county, wherever that we can talk to in this show, please make those phone calls. We need to have an extended discussion and a lively discussion with other people so that we can.
You guys want Eric Omondi next week?
Yes, please. Bring him.
Yes.
Huyo atachoma, nitamleta.
Yeah, we need him.
Ni sawa.
Yeah, I'll confirm to you guys in the group. He'll come. I know that.
Okay. Asanteni sana. Thank you so much. And the Taco Diaspora edition ends now. See you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you.